All right. So, hello again. My name is Mabel, and I'm the founder and president of the Ugandan Link, or as we like to call it, UG Link. UG Link is a dynamic community 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization that's committed to empowering the Ugandan diaspora. We focus on building strong connections, offering essential resources, and creating meaningful opportunities for engagement and for growth. As a founder, my role is to ensure that our mission stays at the core of everything that we do. I oversee the programs and finances to make sure that we align with that mission and ensure that we are operating fully legal and in ethical compliance as we continue to grow. I'm truly honored to lead this work, and I'm so glad to have you here with us today. So we're now going to go over our mission is to empower the Ugandan diaspora by fostering unity, providing essential resources, and inspiring individuals to thrive. With a vision of building a resilient and prosperous community, and we aim to create a lasting legacy of unity and success for generations to come. We are truly the ultimate resource hub. At UG Link, our work is guided by 6 core pillars, each one thoughtfully designed to support and uplift the Ugandan diaspora by addressing key areas of life that contribute to thriving in the community. And these pillars are financial literacy, where we aim to equip individuals with the knowledge and confidence to manage their finances wisely. With the health pillar, we promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being by providing access to reliable health resources and community wellness initiatives that empower individuals to live healthier lives. Education, where we believe in lifelong learning. From youth programs to adult education, we do provide access to knowledge and skills that open doors and expand opportunities. With our business pillar, we support entrepreneurship and professional growth by offering tools, mentorship, and opportunities that help our community members start, grow, and sustain successful businesses. Legal knowledge, understanding your rights, and navigating the legal system, that is an essential part of our life, and we offer resources and guidance to empower our community with the knowledge needed to make informed decisions and protect their interests. Our culture and lifestyle pillar, we celebrate and preserve Ugandan heritage while embracing our modern living. And through culture events, storytelling, lifestyle programs, we foster identity, pride, and belonging. Through these 6 pillars, UG Link is building a stronger, more informed, and more connected community, one that thrives together and supports each member's journey towards success and fulfillment. All right. I know you're wondering how you get involved. And this is how you can be a part of this amazing movement. We have multiple ways you can volunteer your time and your talents to support the programs and events that we do have. For our scholars, we have internship programs that you would gain hands-on experience while contributing to a meaningful cause. Attending and participating in events like this is also a part of supporting our mission and building a vibrant community that is aware and well living. Also, you can partner with us if you're looking to create a deeper and long-term impact. And please make donations to help fund our mission and expand our reach. Whether you're giving your time, skills, or resources, you're helping build a stronger community that's more connected. All right. Today's financial literacy pillar, it's my pleasure to introduce today's presenter, Gloria. She's a passionate about helping individuals in our communities building strong financial foundations. And today she'll be guiding us through some key topics that are essential to financial well-being. During this session, we'll cover the basics of budgeting, understand the value of cash credit and credit scores, and how to start saving for the future. We're excited to learn from her and from her expertise and insights, and some key takeaways to help us control our financial journey.
My name is Gloria Msimenta, as I said earlier. And a brief background about me, I have been in the banking and IT sector for the last, I'll say, 12 years. So from back home, I was a banker, and when I came to the United States, I was able to work at one of the banks in the United States. But then I'm also a part of so many other places that I work right now. I am currently a member of the committee of the Ugandan Link, which has a great mission to pass service to the diaspora community. So information, a guideline on how to be able to guide to make it in this economy. You can find your communication and your link on the Ugandan link. So come and find information with us. I am currently the chairperson of the MCPS Head Start Policy Council, and I am an entrepreneur and co-founder of Station Express Cargo LLC. We do shipping to and from Uganda, so anything air cargo, sea cargo, we take care of that. And I am also a passionate financial educator with World Systems Builder, where we have a mission to educate 30 million families by 2030, and I am grateful to have this opportunity this evening to share this information with you to be able to impact your future and your family's future. I'm also a proud member of the DMV community. So anywhere you find the community, you might find me. I am a mom, I am a friend, and yes, I love this opportunity that I am able to share really powerful information with my community. So let's really go back to what brought us here in the first place. First of all, this month, April is recognized as Financial Literacy Awareness Month. So it's the month that was set apart to share financial literacy, which is awesome. And we'd like to know, first of all, what is financial literacy, right? It's the ability to understand and manage your money effectively, making informed decisions about budgeting, saving, investment, and borrowing. So being able to understand, first of all, the concepts, the financial concepts that you need to know about how money works, because it's not about having money. It's about knowing how money works so that you can be able to manage what you have. And also understanding budgeting and expense tracking. How do you track the money that you get and where it's going? There's so many lingering questions, right? Of where is my money? I make money, but I don't see it. So you can be able to answer that with budgeting and expense tracking and being able to understand saving and investment. So many times we end up spending before we save, which is the wrong way. It's a better way for you to be able to save first before you spend, right? Which is a concept that we're really going to dig into today. And also debt management. How do you manage your debt? Are you in control of your debt, or is your debt controlling you? So understand what debt management is and being able to know what is good debt, what is bad debt, and the concepts that can get you out of debt sooner. And also really understanding financial planning. What is financial planning? What do you need to know so that you can be able to build yourself a better financial future? So first of all, let's start by understanding the challenges that we are facing really in the financial world, in the financial space as personal, right? Because I find that if this information is not provided in schools, you're not going to find this information in schools where you're going to be told how to build your personal finances. So let's first start by understanding the challenges of the economy that we are in, which first of all, there's so many people that don't have budgets. It's really hard that sometimes you go to the store just to buy one thing, right? And you end up getting out with a full cart. And that's because of no lack of budgeting. So many people don't have financial goals, and because this is a spending economy, we have found that we are spending a lot more than we make because, hey, the economy is going to encourage you to spend. They're going to give you actually debt so that you can spend the money before you make it, right? And also understanding what emergency funds is, because so many people don't have emergency funds. We don't have money to be able to manage our our emergencies. I know of a friend that says, if I get any emergencies, I have my credit card. That's where I'll go. So do you have an emergency fund, or are you relying on your debt, on your credit to be able to build emergencies? And also, so many people are living paycheck to paycheck. It has become like a norm. It's a normal thing for us to live paycheck to paycheck at this point, which is not a great thing. So being able to understand these challenges, and you get to look at them and consider them while you're building your finances, is really important. There's a lot of increasing debt, so student loan debt, mortgages, credit card. It's a lot of debt that you lose a lot of money paying interest. So how do you manage yourself to get yourself out of debt sooner? And then the biggest problem really that we have found is that so many people are not interested in their financial future. We're living today for today. So if my family is fed and they're doing okay, I'm fine, I'm good, right? My kids are fed, my bills are paid. Tomorrow will come by itself. So many people don't think into their future, and they don't have futuristic goals. So we find that there's so many bad habits and poor decisions that we make that add up and cause us to get into financial burden, right? And yet we are aware that we're in the richest country in the world. And depending on where you are, because I know there are people here that are from other diasporan spaces, first world countries, and also people that are joining in from Uganda. So depending on wherever you are, there are habits that you need to be aware of that are in your community, so that you can know how to be able to make better decisions. Because yes, our communities have wealthy people, and yes, we can be wealthy, but that's through financial literacy, you knowing what you need to know. So the great thing is that, first of all, people are living much longer. That is really good news. Out of research, as you can see, life expectancy keeps going up and up. So in the 2060s, the males are expected to live up to age 82. The females are expected to live up to age 86. But what are the challenges that come with that? We need to understand it's a good thing, but it comes along with challenges, which is, first of all, we're living in an aging world, right? And that's because we're choosing to have less and less children right now. Our parents had more children, and we're having less children, which means by the time we hit our retirement time, there's going to be fewer choices for us to get into. Like, we cannot rely on our children to take care of us, right? So we need to be able to take matters into our own hands, and also understanding that, hey, there's not going to be enough people in the workspace to pay for our social security, because the social security that you're paying right now is paying a retiree right now. So by the time you retire, you might not have enough in social security. So we need to take matters into our own hands and be able to save for the future, because in the future, because we will be living longer, we might have a lot of health concerns that we need to take care of. Will you have enough money to take care of your situation whenever it comes, right? So plan towards saving for the future. Have enough money to take care of your health concerns. Will you have appropriate housing? There's so many people that live in like a two-storied house, and in the future they might need to make adjustments to their houses. So plan towards having money to take care of your appropriate housing and supervision. So transportation, who is going to take you for your hospital visits, your shopping trips? Make sure you have the money to take care of that as well. And wealth transfer, do you have the right documentation? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you know the difference of both, right? Do you have health directives? Who makes the decision for you if you cannot make any decision? And eventually, all in all, think about financial security, because there's so many things that keep trickling in, right? Social security might not be enough, but you might need to continue paying taxes in your retirement. So will you be paying too much in taxes? So when you think about the holistic picture, it helps you understand that right now that you still have energy in the first half of your life, you need to be able to prepare for the second half of your life. So we're saying, think about saving for your future, right? And think about building your financial foundation. which is the four pillars of financial literacy. So be able to set goals in the four pillars, which is proper protection, debt management, emergency funds, and investment, and also take action to be able to hit those goals. So it starts by you understanding your current situation, where you're at right now, and what is going on in your financial world, your financial picture, and also having a futuristic goal that you're trying to hit, right? So when you sit down with a financial professional, they'll be able to show you what your goal needs to be, because everyone's goal is different. So you're encouraged to have 10 times your annual income in your protection plan. And that's because, first of all, should anything happen, should you fall ill, long-term illness, critical illness, right? This plan is going to be able to replace your income. It will fall in place in the time when you cannot work, because you still have responsibilities. You still have bills you're taking care of. You still have family you're taking care of. So your protection plan is going to be able to replace your income so that you can be able to take care of that. But then, God forbid, you're called by the Lord prematurely, you can also be able to give your family what you could have given them 10 years from now had you continued what you're doing right now, which is really, really powerful. I find that really, really powerful, that your significant other or your family, they can survive for a long time through the legacy that you created. So when we talk about debt management, debt has clearly become like a way of life in our community. It has become normalized. But we're saying no, you need to be able to work towards getting out of debt. If you're in debt right now, we have companies that we work with to consolidate you. You need to learn how to consolidate your debt and be able to pay it sooner, and also be able to learn concepts that can help you just pay off your debt much sooner. And also emergency funds. Have a fund that is going to be able to take care of your emergencies, that is at least 6 times your monthly income or your monthly expenses. And that's because when emergencies occur, you can be able to take care of that without necessarily digging yourself into more debt, right? And also have an investment that is at least 20 times your income in your investment, at least by the time you retire. So you being able to know that you have a goal to work towards. And why we're saying 20 times your income is because when you retire, you're going to have at least 20 years of life. That's what is expected, right? So if everything goes well, it's expected that you live more than 20 years. So your investment will be able to take you through retirement. So while you're planning your financial future and building your financial house, you need to start working on it a certain way by sitting with a professional to be able to do that planning for you and show you how you can do it. I really enjoy the X-curve concept because it shows you the relationship between your responsibilities and your wealth. So right now, you're taking care of your family, right? So your responsibilities are really high. You're taking care of your younger children, your aging parents. If you're still younger, then your kids will come up soon, and hey, your responsibilities are going to be really, really high. But over time, yes, your responsibilities are expected to go down, and which is a great thing, right? But then we're saying, even now that you're taking care of your family, you need to figure out a way to take care of your wealth line, because in the future you have to take care of yourself, right? So we're in a time where we cannot rely on other people to take care of us. So yes, you need to be able to manage your expenses, but still build your wealth along. So we have concepts that we teach you to help you take care of both halves of your life. So we teach you your insurable need, how you can be able to calculate your insurable need to know that you have enough to take care of yourself and your responsibilities and your family should anything happen, right? So should you stop working and get like a long-term ailment, or should, God forbid, should the Lord call you too soon, at least your responsibilities are taken care of. But then also we teach you, you need to learn how to build wealth the traditional way, the true way. So many people don't know that there's a formula to building wealth, but yes, there is, right? So we get to dig down into the concept of the wealth formula so that you can be able to understand how to build wealth the proper way while considering everything else that needs to fall in place. So under money, yes, you need to know what your financial goal is, and you need to know how much you need to save to hit your financial goal, and then give your money time to grow. We do not encourage get rich quick schemes. There's so many things coming up right now, but we don't encourage get rich quick schemes. We know that you can build money traditionally. So go ahead and learn. Go sit down with a professional to teach you how to build your money by giving it time to grow. Consider the rate of return on your money. Consider the impact of inflation and taxes, and that's how you know how to build true wealth. And the formula 10-20 helps you understand that right now you may need 10 times your income to protect your family, but you may also need 20 times your income to take care of your financial future. So let's talk about debt, right? So many people, this is a very special topic. So many people are drowning in debt, and some of them have resigned of actually trying to solve that problem, and they've decided, you know what, I'm going to just pay my regular payment and that's it. But we do know that you can pay off your debt much sooner. This is an example of somebody that has debt of about 400,000, and they just found just $100 to increase to their payments, their monthly payments, to help them get out of debt sooner. So this person wrote down their debt from the biggest to the smallest and just used an extra $100 to increase their payments, their monthly payments from 2,857 to 2,957. So they increased their first payment where they were paying $10, they increased it to $110, and they were able to pay it off in 2 months instead of the scheduled 19 months, right? And when they were done with that debt, they rolled that full amount up to the next debt. So the 110, they kept the full payment and added it to the next smallest debt. So they were paying $135 instead of just $25. They were able to pay it off in 6 months instead of 27 months. So they just kept consistency and paying off their debt slowly but surely. They were able to pay it off in 17 years instead of 30 years that was scheduled. So imagine this person had put in $200. Imagine instead of buying Starbucks, they decided to put that money towards their debt. So it's really, really powerful that you can stop debt from impacting your future. What about talking about your credit score? Is it really necessary for you to keep carrying debt for you to build credit score? The answer is no. You do not have to carry debt to build your credit score. So when you get to sit down with a professional, they can show you how to be able to pay off your debt much sooner. So let's go in and dive in to understand how money actually works, right? So there's 2 ways that money gain interest. So there's simple interest and compounding interest. Today we're going to concentrate on compounding interest by understanding really how you can be able to predict how soon your money can double. So there's a rule of 72, which says that if you get the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate that you got, you can be able to predict how soon your money will double. So this rule can actually work for you or against you, actually. So if you get to use it to calculate your investment, it works for you. You get to see how soon your investment doubles. Or if you use it to calculate your debt, then you see how soon your debt doubles, right? So let's talk about this person that invested in an investment vehicle that has 6% interest rate. So every 12 years, their money doubles. So they had $10,000, and in 12 years, the 10 turned into 20. In another 12 years, the 20 turned into 40. In another 12 years, the 40 turned into 80,000, which is great, right? You can be able to predict that my money can become this amount if I put it in this vehicle. So What if you got a place that gives you 8% though, and put the same 10,000, the same period of time, how much money do you end up with? 159,000, which is almost twice what you could have got just by getting 2% more interest. So if you got 2% again more, and now you have 10% in the same period of time, you have $300,000, right? And that means your money doubles every 7.2 years. So the question is, where are you investing your money? And how soon is your money going to double if you consider compounding interest and the rule of 72? So let's take an example of if you had $100 and put it in a CD that is growing at 10%, right? So you get to have $5 growth on your money, but we all know when you make money, you have to pay taxes. So let's say your tax bracket is 25%, so you lose $1.25, you end up with $103.75. But you have to consider inflation, right? Inflation is something that we never talk about, but it is there. It's a silent killer that we never really get to see and talk about. So you end up with 75 cents, which means your money is actually not working for you. It's not doing a great job for you. So if you are intending to invest and save money for yourself for the future, you need to be able to put it in places that give you way more than 5% interest rate to beat both taxes and inflation. So let's talk about a few fundamentals, right, that we need to think about while building our money for the future. Number one, let's understand what saving is and how we build it. So many people, most people pay their bills and use the remainder of their salary to enjoy themselves. And whatever is left, if anything, goes into their savings. And this is what the norm is. This is what is happening. So financially smart people, however, do it the other way around. Before they spend a single cent on entertainment and non-essentials, they deposit a portion of their salary into their savings and spend whatever is left over on going out and having fun. So we have a habit of spending that we are accustomed to, right? Because we have grown up knowing how to spend money. And I'll explain it this way. When we hit our birthdays, a party is done for you, right? There's a lot of money spent there. They buy cake, invite friends, buy food, cook. That's an expense right there. And yet there are different communities that know that, hey, every birthday, we're going to save a certain amount of money for the sake of this child. So can we know that we have a lot of unlearning to do and relearning to do. So when you sit down and look, hey, switch, instead of spending first, save first, right? And then also, let's look at debt. Not all debt is equal. There's generally two types of debt. So there's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is debt that grows in value. For example, a home loan, a student loan, and a car loan. So these are things that are valuable to you. A home loan provides you shelter, but also grows in equity. A student loan provides you an opportunity to get a job and make more money. A car loan, yes, we need our cars, right? We need to go places. So we need our cars. So that's good loan. But bad debt is debt incurred to purchase things which lose value quickly and they have high interest rates. So for example, an example of bad debt is credit cards which aren't managed effectively. So yes, you need to know what good debt is and what bad debt is, and also be able to understand how to mitigate and get out of debt much sooner. Let's look at investing. Investing is one of the most important parts of planning a bright financial future. And investment is something that you spend money on today that will make you more money or put you in a stronger financial position later on. So while investing may cost money upfront, in the end, it should make more money for you in the future. So what we're trying to say is when you're investing, understand that your investment must grow. Don't put it in places where it's subject to going down. So when you put money in a place that is not giving you growth enough to beat both taxes and inflation, and where you see your money going down and up and down and up, that's not a great place for you to invest. And also understand budgeting. So budgeting keeps your finances under control, shows when you need to make adjustments to your spendings, and helps you decide where your money goes instead of wondering where it all went in the first place. So budgeting helps you answer these questions, in lingering important questions like where does my money go, and is there a better way to spend less. So yes, you can do that through budgeting. So it's really, really important. So let us try to understand, first of all, the time value of money, the power of time, because time can work for you or against you. So let's take an example of these two people that decided to save $2,500 for 25 years, right? In a product earning 5%. So person A is 30 years old, person B is 40 years old. They both get to save for 25 years, and they stop saving at age 55 and 65. But we want to know what's the total accumulation by the time they both are 65 years old. So you will see that person A ends up with $204,075 because they had time, right? They had time to let their money compound. And person B ends up with $125 and 284, right? So what is the difference though? First of all, the difference is person A procrastinated for 10 years and waited to start. And the second difference is there is a cost in waiting. The cost in this waiting was $78,790. So how many of us is willing to lose $78,000? Of course, not you, Mabel, I see. So we don't want to lose by losing time. So the point is, when you get this information, start thinking about your financial future and start working on it, right? Because there's a high cost in waiting. So time can be your worst enemy or your greatest ally, right? So if you have, let's give an example of someone trying to build $1 million with a 5% tax deferred account. So if they have 40 years, they will only have to put in $655. So let's say they want to retire at 65 and they're 20 years old. They start saving $600. A 20-year-old that has a job could potentially be able to do this and start saving for their future if they had the information. But fast forward, if they waited 10 years and now they have just 30 years to go, right? So now they're 35 and they want to retire at 65. They have 30 years. Now they have to put in 1,200. So fast track to a person that is soon retiring, right? So our parents that are soon retiring, if they want to do it in 10 years to create $1 million, they have to put in $6,000. And our income does not grow that high for us to be able to say, hey, I can comfortably save $6,500 in a portfolio, right? So that's the time value of money. The cost of waiting is really, really high. Because if you have 5 years to do it, hey, I don't know, you better make a lot of money because it becomes a really hard thing to do. So the rule of 72 that we talked about, let's take an example of a person that saves money in a vehicle of they have $5,000 and they put it in a place that has 5% and some in a place that has 6% interest rate. So you'll see how soon their money doubles and how many times their money doubles. So the first person gets 2 doubles, right? So so they both started at 29 years old. By the time the first person hits 47, they get their first double. By 65, their money has doubled twice. But the person that gets 6% investment vehicle, you can see that their money doubles 3 times. They have 3 times to have their money double. So go back and look at your investments, look at the interest rate you're getting over there, get that number, divide 72 by that number, and look and try to predict how soon your money doubles. And the best thing is for you to get better investment vehicles that give you better interest rates so that you can be able to build your money much faster. So let's look at the impact of loss. We have money that is sitting in different vehicles that are subject to market volatility. But let's really take a look at how your money could grow and what you need to do to be able to gain back your growth and also be able to build your money much faster. So let's say you have $10,000 you put in a vehicle that gets a loss of 50%. So recently the markets have been acting really bad and some accounts have really gone down even more than 50%. But this person lost $5,000. And the next year, let's say the markets gained by 50%. So the 50% came back, yay, which is great. They end up with $7,500. And if you really want to break even, you have to gain back 100% for you to gain back the full $10,000 that you had in the first place. So the question is your money working well wherever it is? And can you find places where you can mitigate the losses, mitigate the impact of time of loss on your money? Yes, you can. You get to sit down and we will be able to show you how to be able to do that. So with that said, I'd like to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share this information. It's such a pleasure to be able to do this for you and to give you a couple of tips. Really, we have workshops. Get in touch with us. We have workshops that you can go to be able to soak yourself with information on your finances and be able to make better financial decisions. I believe that we have the potential to make it big, especially if you've been exposed to the first world countries. It's very possible for you to hit big timelines, big strides, if you embrace financial literacy and also try to find out where you can put your money for growth, safety, tax advantage, and protection. So you can go ahead and scan the QR code on the screen. This QR code is going to take you to a survey. As I said earlier, the company that I work with is on a mission to educate 30 million families by 2030, and it would be really an honor for us to hear from you and know what your concerns are and so that we can be able to build the campaign much better. So and that's my phone number and my email address. If you need any more information on all these topics that we've talked about, we can have a Q&A right now, but yes, take a screenshot and be able to reach out if you need more information. So I'll kick it back to Mabel. Thank you so much.
This is our information. We'd love to have you join us on this journey. Our website is theugandanlink.org. And this is the Gmail information where you can send an email and with any information that you want us to look into, and we'll be able to reach out back to you and also send you updates on everything, any upcoming events that we have planned to have. Our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is The Ugandan Link, where you can find all our content and our community engagement. So please join us in these platforms.